Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody around the world. This is Stefan's Reviews and How-Tos coming to you today from New York City. Is going to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade one of the items on your bucket list? Have you thought about how will I get to New York City? Am I going to drive, take the train, or fly? And once you get there, where are you going to stay? Are you going to stay in a hotel, an Airbnb, or a condo? And then lastly, where do I sit for the parade? How do I find a spot? Are there bathrooms available? Is there food available? What do I need to think about? Well, those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about in this short video. So you've decided to go to New York City to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and you have to figure out how are you going to get there. You have three options. You can drive, you can fly, or you can take the train. Driving I don't recommend. The drivers are pretty aggressive and parking is outrageously expensive, and the tolls around the area are also expensive. If you're going to fly, you can fly into JFK or Newark and then take a taxi or an Uber or something of that nature to your hotel. And if you're coming from the west or the south, I highly recommend taking the train. And you can see the train route here. This is the Northwest Corridor with New Jersey Transit. You can stop anywhere along that line, at any of those train stations. Park your car, much cheaper than it is to park in the city, and take the train. The train will take you right to Penn Station. And Penn Station is located with Madison Square Gardens. It's also next to the Macy's store and the Empire State Building. And from there you can walk or take a taxi or an Uber or a Lyft to your hotel. Once you get to New York City, you need to find a place to stay. I'm looking at hotels over New Year's 2022 just to get a frame of reference of what the prices are. These prices will be comparable to Thanksgiving. Actually, Thanksgiving will be a little bit more than these. If you're going to stay here, I recommend staying somewhere between 58th Street, 9th Avenue, 3rd Avenue, and as far down as 39th Street. So that's the square you're looking at. Try to find a place to stay there. Now, we can also look at the IHG website and see that the prices are comparable, and some of the rooms are already sold out. Once you get to New York City, you should know where a few places are just to orientate yourself. If you're traveling by train coming from the west or the south, here is Penn Station. And right here where G is, this is where Macy's is. This is where the parade ends. And a lot of the shows that you see on TV also occur here in front of the street, in front of the big turkey on top of the Macy's building. The parade starts up here at 9 o'clock in the morning. You can see the route here along Central Park. It turns here and then it comes down 6th Avenue. Now, if you want to view it live, anywhere between 58th Street and 39th Street is a great place to go. So anywhere in that area. And I'd recommend the day before just scouting out the location you want to go to, see if it's feasible. Some things you can look for might include bus stops or subway entrances so that when you do sit down, there isn't a whole lot of space behind you for people to gather and crowd around you. Now, if you're also coming, you might want to stay the night in a hotel. And so anywhere between 9th Avenue and 3rd Avenue would be a great place to stay. So anywhere in here, you can simply walk in the morning to get to your location. Thanksgiving morning, and not very many places are going to be open. McDonald's, we saw was open. Chick-fil-A, we saw was not. Good on Chick-fil-A for giving their employees Thanksgiving Day off. We sat right here between 46th and 47th Street, and there is a McDonald's and a Chick-fil-A located there. There were no bathrooms available in the restaurants, which was a surprise to us. So you can use this website right here. You can see it, this website right here, to kind of get an idea of what's going on here. And so when you click right here, you can see where bathrooms are located. So there's not very many along this stretch right here. So I recommend that you don't drink a whole lot of liquids prior to so you don't have to use the bathroom. Now you might get hungry, so here's some food places that are located along the parade route. And some of these may or may not have bathrooms that are open that morning. And our experience was most of them locked their bathrooms. And you can imagine why. Those bathrooms will get pretty messy pretty quickly with 2.5 million people lined up on this road right here. And then also coffee, which is a liquid, and it's also a diuretic, which will make you want to use the bathroom. If you can hold out, don't drink coffee. That would be my recommendation. Don't drink coffee. So when should you get there? Once you find your location the day before, when should you get there? We got there at 5:30 in the morning, and the first row along the rail was almost taken at that time. Some things to look for. Try to stay away from the sewers. And you can see them in the morning. They're steaming and they're coming up. When we reconned that evening, we didn't see the sewers. We didn't even think about it. We didn't smell it. But they were there, and we definitely smelt it that morning of. It got so crowded, though, people stood on the sewers, and they had that smell right there in their nose. And it was a pretty strong smell. You can see the steam coming from the sewer on the right side of the screen.
not on the screen is a family with little kids standing over the grate, and that smell just coming straight into their face. After some prior planning and a little recon the night before, and a long morning of waiting in the cold, we got to see the parade. We got to watch on TV as well when we got home. We were surprised at how different the parade was in person compared to how it was on TV. Personally, it was way more fun in person than it was watching on TV later. It was a great time of making memories, and it was truly a bucket list item that is now marked off of the list. That brings us to the end of the parade and the end of this video. I hope it was informational. I hope it helped you, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Now let's watch the end of this parade together.